So this is from The Play, which is an event ran by Rocket Baguette, the French casting, Rocket League casting stream. Definitely check them out if you love just not just baguettes, not just French Rocket League casting, but just Rocket League in general. It's really exciting, I think. And I find myself listening to the French broadcast quite often when there's the choice between the French Rocket Baguette broadcast and the English broadcast on some other stream. I very often find myself listening to the Rocket Baguette broadcast just because it's so funny hearing their reactions to things, and that's not a bad thing at all, by the way. That's, they're genuinely just really, really good at hyping up the game. I don't even know what they're saying, but it sounds really good. So I fully commend them to you. That's twitch.tv/Rocket Baguette, all one word, I believe. If you want number spam and stuff, wait till I'm not doing something like this, because I'm gonna try and watch this game and actually think about what's happening. I've not seen this game yet, so it should be quite exciting. It's from the semi-final, I believe. Is it a semi-final? I think it is a semi-final of The Play, which is a Rocket League tournament, which was for, I think, was it 4,000? We could listen to, I'll just put on some music and we'll have that on in the background. If you want to hear their French casting, you're going to have to go to their stream. I'm not going to turn it on right now. Just want to watch this game. So Dignitas is, two-time world champions, formerly Gale Force Esports, Violent Panda, Turbo Pulsar, and K-Dot. But Turbo Pulsar was sitting out in this series, and the substitute, Jazer, stepped in. And for anybody who doesn't know, Jazer's actually a pretty good player. Of course, he's most known as a freestyler. Whoa, Dabby, what?
Jeez.
What on earth? Thanks to the 10,000 bit cheer. I appreciate that. I did not see that coming. But hey, thanks for the bits, dude. That's insane. You're definitely top bitter of the week, or whatever it's called, top cheerer. I appreciate it a lot, dude. Thomas John, thanks for the 500 bits as well, man. That's a lot of bits. That's also a lot of bits. Thanks so much for that. I'll try and keep up on alerts and stuff as we go through this, because this is by no means a quick game. The title would suggest to you. Longest overtime in Rocket League competitive history. That is, as far as I'm aware, the longest overtime. And I've not seen any comments on any forums or on Twitter or anything like that to indicate otherwise. But like I was saying before I was really interrupted by that 10,000 bit cheer, Jazer is a very good player. He's played substitute for Flipside Tactics before in league play of, I believe it was the only season, when they won RLCS, Jazer did actually play games. So he's the only substitute player for any world champion team who has ever played games for the team since season 1, when Overzero came in as the substitute for the LAN and won. So that he's the most recent, I believe, substitute that's played actual games that contributed to the RLCS win, and then the team went on to win the championship. Very good player, very underrated. That's surprising, because most content creators who are also players are overrated in Rocket League. So Jazer's definitely not one of those. He gets a lot of stick for being a freestyler, but he's a very solid player. Particularly, something that I remember was an 11 save game that he had in the League of Rockets World Cup, where he played with Metsonoris and Magnus. He got a ridiculous, I can't remember who he was against, but there was one game where he got so many saves. And that's what really stood out to me. Not his goal scoring prowess, even though he is very quick in the air and very, very good at reading back wall rebounds. His saves are definitely a highlight, not only of his defensive style, but also his... oh wait, Turbo for another game. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, Turbo is a sub who won the LAN as well, wasn't he? Turbo 3. Well, yeah, I forgot about Turbo because he's actually a starter now. But anyway, I'm talking about something different now. So we've got... watch out for Jazer's defensive positioning in this series. This is something that you need to pay attention to. If the final scoreboard, which I did see, is anything to go by, not just Jazer's defensive positioning, but also Violent Panda. But there are two players who do finish off this series, or this game, I should say, with a ton of saves to their name, which tells me two things. One, that Team Vitality are taking lots of shots, and that's not always a good thing. Sometimes taking shots can just be a pass to the opposition if they are ready to move in and save said shot. But other times, just taking shots is a good way to keep your opponents under pressure, keep just testing them if they don't look too solid that day. So we're going to be keeping a special eye in the overtime that we do see. Or what kind of shots Vitality are going for. Are they like long and hopeful shots like this, which, you know, kind of doubles up as just a clear ball because it's coming all the way off the back wall. But we do see, you know, we do see quite a lot of that in competitive, just hopeful shots, kind of almost shots. And there's also shots that were actually just backboard passes but get registered as shots by the game because yeah, because they were going for a pass and it nearly went in. Yeah, no, don't worry, Turbo's not gone. Anybody who's worried. Jazer's just subbing for a day because Turbo was not here for this day. I can't remember, was it his birthday or something? Happy birthday, Turbo. And Jazer stepped in. Not sure what car is Jazer playing here. It's like, so one of these weird long cars. A little bit of game sound. I decided not to do it for this because we've got French casting in the background, and I like to listen to that. I like to listen to their stream when they're streaming Rocket League, but I don't think I'll be able to focus properly if there is French going on in the background or spam, which I did say I would skip, so I will continue to skip that if it's in the middle of a series. But yeah, the Random Vitality boys have had a recent little rivalry going on with Dignitas since picking up Scrub Killer. I don't think they've beaten Dignitas in an online tournament. They've definitely not played at LAN together yet. So I'm going to be really interested to see how that matchup plays out in RLCS next season. These teams are locked in for RLCS. You've got K-Dot Turbo Panda, and then Scrub, Pashy, and Fairy Peak. And even in the other series which they played against each other, it was very close. Even with Turbo in for Jazer, it was a very close series. I think, didn't they play? They played twice before this, and Vitality won the first series. But then they also needed to beat them again because they were coming from loser bracket after losing to Complexity earlier in the day, and they just couldn't do it. But this game is all Vitality pressure so far. It's pretty much all Vitality pressure, and then Dignitas trying to counter-attack. Something to note about Scrubkilla and his 3v3 play that we've seen in the past is that when he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do, good thing Pashy didn't hit Fairy Peak there. Yeah, when Scrub's allowed to do what he wants to do, he can be a real menace for other teams. He's so quick, and his shooting can be so brutal that, you know, he can just take apart other teams by himself. But he actually struggles defensively, from what I've seen, more than offensively. Not like he's got a real weakness in defense. You know, Scrub's really known for getting lots of clutch saves, and you will see lots of clutch saves from him, I'm sure, in this first year of RLCS. But one of his biggest 3v3 weaknesses that I've seen, not just playing for Vitality, but just playing in general in threes, is taking the ball away from his teammates too much. And sometimes that'll happen in ranked. You'll have a player who's going for the ball a lot in defense, not trusting his teammates to get saves. But you really can't afford to let that happen in competitive. That was a little bit ambitious by Scrub, trying to get the ball through Violent Panda there. Needs to find a better avenue. That's more like it. Hitting it off at his sides. There's no big dunk possible for Team Dignitas. A lot of that happening right now for Vitality, and there's a great read by Fairy Peak. So we're already 2 minutes into the overtime, and it's fairly solid continuation to what we saw earlier in the series, or in this game. I keep saying series because it's such a long time, but it's just a game, of course. That is Violent Panda, K-Dot, and Jazer are doing a lot of sitting inside their goal and trying to make saves. They're not going for too many early challenges and interceptions. They're just sitting back and getting all these saves, but they are getting good direction on their saves. That's not allowing any follow-up shots from Vitality. Of course, if they dump any ball into the edge of the box, there's like 2 players going for a save. Of course, it's not that big a deal though, because the ball is so far away it comes back. Now, if these double commits were happening on the back wall, and if players were flying up above goal height to get saves, that would be really bad. But that's not happening. Since Vitality are taking lots of shots, the overcrowding of the goal that Team Dignitas are going for is not really being punished. So keep an eye out for that. Is there a weak backboard? The answer is yes. There is actually quite a weak backboard for Dignitas so far. There's a huge chance. That should just be the game right there, actually. Fairy Peak not able to get the read. Again, though, you see, right after I call weak backboard, the backboard does yield the best opportunity of the game so far for Reno Vitality. I don't know if they've noticed that in the game, though, at this point. they realize that there's some heavy goalkeeper stacking going on. Of course, that is the counter to many goalkeepers. Oh dear, how did Violent Panda miss that? Wow. Okay, well, both teams should have now won the game. Because that makes sense. I mean, we didn't see Violent Panda's POV on that. But that looked like a tap-in for a player of his caliber. Should definitely have put that one in the net. That's surely rattled Vitality a little bit. And Fairy Peak just clearing it straight at Jazer. Luckily, Jazer's backflips. And Scrubkilla double touch now. I think Scrubkilla did actually get an aerial hit there. I'm not sure if it was on target. Was that a shot on target? Little icon in the top right there. Scrub had that on net. Was that what the little ball with the halo means? You'd think I would know this by now, but I don't know what the ball with the halo means. Is that shot? I think it is, because aerial hit is like the car in the ball, right? See, I was looking at the top right there to see if Scrub actually put that on net, because the camera changed perspective last second. It's hard to know. The halo is the save. Hold on a second then. Wait a minute. Watch this. We're not going to rewind much in this game, because it does take a long time. Oh, that's not... Yeah, see this one. That's aerial hit, right? So this is shot. Oh, sorry, it is a halo. For some reason, I thought that this halo was attached to the ball, and I was like, what does this mean? Never seen this before. It's the halo from this ball, not an under halo on this ball. I honestly registered this as an under halo. I was like, what? What's that halo doing underneath this ball? But no, that's Jazer's save, so that is actually on target. Great save by Jazer. Yeah, double touch as well by Scrub there. Again, I really don't think Scrub's offense is the thing that's going to take the longest to really be perfected with Reno Vitality. I think it's going to be his defense, mainly. People always criticize him for ball chasing when they're losing, and that's, you know, something that can happen. Whether that's going to happen with his actual main team Vitality is yet to be seen.
Under Halo.
Yeah, the under Halo, whatever you want to call that. If the O in Halo stands for over, maybe it's a Halo. So that was. That should have been a much better pass there. That could have been game over if K-Dot found Jazer downfield. Perfect landing downfield by Jazer. He went up for a ball, but just landed directly downfield of where the ball was supposed to be going.
Johnny, please don't mute me.
I'll mute you if you're just saying nonsense,
It feels
dude.
like I die. A part of me, it just goes. You don't understand how horrible it feels. I love being your friend.
I know
love having a family. Please,
sounds like, so.
Please, Johnny, I beg. Also, big nose.
Nah, listen, Brian. If you're just gonna like spam in my ear when I'm trying to think, like I'm muting it. Like that's just the way it is, and you know. If you want to refund that, it's totally fine. Fairy Peak should have scored there. Let's see what. Yeah, that's just an open net for Fairy Peak, so he's going to be kicking himself for that. I like that pass though. That's very, very cheeky by Fairy to just pop that ball off the wall there. I wonder where the infield passes have been so far. The passing hasn't been great by either team just yet, and. You know, 6-minute overtime, both teams are probably a little bit shaky right now. Oh, again, Fairy Peak could have finished this game about 3 times already. It's not his best game in terms of shooting. I really don't think that the Team Dignitas defensive style is to be recommended, by the way, this game. There's a lot of sitting in goal. And their backboard is so naked very, very often. That's a good reactive save by Panda there. Thanks, Razor, for the 420. Will Gono as well for the 4 pound.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Brian.
Yep.
I'm a scary man from India. I have something to tell you.
You don't sound
Here it
Indian.
comes. Johnny is in love with a penguin.
Oh dear. I did not pre-read that one, so I was not ready for that vicious accusation. Alright, enough about penguins. Let's talk a little bit more about Reno Vitality. We've been talking a lot about Fairy Peak and Scrub so far. Well, about how many shots Fairy Peak has missed, and a little bit about Scrubkilla and his potential weaknesses. But Pashi is the other obvious question mark on this team. I don't think Pashi or Freaky had particularly good lands, and Pashi has been a little bit inconsistent ever since he started teaming with Fairy. You know, they've never shown up at an RLCS LAN. That being said, Pashi scored so many goals in RLCS League play last season He kind of just reminded everybody how threatening of a player he can be. I'm really curious to see how Pashy and Scrub, how that combo works. I'm pretty sure that Fairy Peak and Scrub is going to be an excellent combo in attack, but will Pashy and Scrub be able to connect in the same way? That remains to be seen. What kind of role is Pashy going to take now that Scrub's joined the team? Because Freaky was quite a passive player, I would say, when his team's not in control of the ball. Definitely not passive. No one on the field is passive when they've got the ball, or when their team's got the ball. Their team's causing pressure. But Freaky, for Vitality, was a very passive player. Again, backboard completely wide open there for Dignitas. It's worth mentioning. And Scrubkill is not. He's much more of an active defender. So I don't know if that's going to change the way Pashy plays at all. So we're just at 8 minutes 30 in overtime. This is well into ridiculous territory. The Scrubkill just dodged the wrong way there in this shot. Oh dear, I think Scrub is trying to air roll 180-degree backwards there to dodge towards the Dignitas goal, and he just messed it up entirely. Wow. Scrubkill nearly getting punished there for being a little bit flat-footed. Pashy running ahead of Fairy Peak's infield. Yeah, in terms of Dignitas, this game's not really a fair representation of how they play, because they are playing with a substitute. And I said earlier on that Jazer's a great player compared to how much people give him credit for. And he's not just a freestyling legend. He is also, very good at rotating and team play. Great pass by Fairy. Pashy choosing to go to the goal again. This is a shot that if he hits it absolutely perfectly, will probably be unstoppable.
Johnny,
again, the backboard is the
why
wide open
did you
thing.
cheat on me with a penguin? It hurts. It hurts my heart.
It's false accusations, dude.
Is it the way it walks? How does it turn you on? I spent so many rupees on you. You greedy Scottish bagpipe playing Rocket League meaning hunk of a man.
I wish I could play the bagpipes. I wish. Pretty pointless touches here coming into this game. Let's see how the final 8 minutes, I don't know how many seconds it is, play out. At this point, you could forgive players for being a little bit out of position, ball chasing, maybe missing an open net. This is a 15-minute solid Rocket League game so far. Can you imagine if every game this Rocket League game is this long? It kind of helps us to realize how short the 5 minutes really are. At least Jazer had no boost there, or else I'm sure he would have loved to go up for a double touch off that. Almost a good pass there from Panda. It looks like K-Dot might have also been lowish on boost. He couldn't quite reach it. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about ball chasing in threes. There's quite a few up-and-coming teams in Europe now who are seeing quite a lot of success.
I'm a penguin AUM.
Oh, Jazer just missed an open net.
AUM.
That's a fantastic pass.
AUM.
Yeah, I was going to say there's quite a lot of up-and-coming teams in Europe right now who see a lot of success by predominantly ball chasing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Ball chasing is a viable strategy. What does ball chasing really mean? Some people, whenever you hear ball chasing, they think that you're talking about that guy who's stuck in platinum because all he ever does is drive into the ball as fast as he can. Doesn't matter which way he's going. It doesn't matter how awkward it's going to be for his team if he does make that touch. But to me, ball chasing, at least in competitive, is just throwing yourself in for challenges regardless of how far away or how close your opponent is and how much control they have over the ball, how much boost they have. If you're ball chasing competitive, it means that you're just going to keep throwing yourself in for every ball, no matter how likely it is that you're going to score with the touch you're going for. You get the idea. You're just continuing to go for every single ball. And at some point, if another team realizes that you're doing that, they can counter you because they know that you're going to go for everything. So then they just play the ball a little bit safer. They play the ball a little bit more under control. Then when they see you coming in, they're just going to flick it over you or make a passing play and get it around you. So the ball chasing team, the team that are playing without any decision making really, they're going to lose in the long run. But it takes a really good team to notice that the other team are ball chasing and know how to counter it. A lot of teams will even know that their opponents are ball chasing and they won't know what to do. You'll hear this if you listen to comms of bubble teams who are streaming tournaments. They'll say things like, oh, they're just ball chasing everything. How are we supposed to play against this? They don't know what to do. Of course, the thing to do is just to try and bait them in. Let them come. Go for more 50-50s where you're not trying to necessarily win the 50-50 into the other team's half. You're just trying to lose it in a way that isn't terrible. That should be game right there, Pashy. Should have scored that. Okay. Follow up by Fairy Peak wasn't too bad. Get a good save by Jazer. Yeah, ball chase, if the other team aren't responding well to your ball chasing, just go for it. And that's, perfectly viable. There's lots of teams right now who are succeeding quite a lot because they just keep on ball chasing. They keep on throwing themselves in for every ball, and it kind of does build confidence if you do that. If you see a team, or if you see opportunities to go for the ball, that could have also just been game over there. Not enough respect shown to K-Dub's long shot potential. Yeah, if you see a team not responding well to your ball chase, just keep doing it. Just keep on throwing yourself at every ball. Maybe you're going to get more and more confident and start hitting shots and start hitting touches that you didn't think you could. Where was Turbo? I think it was his birthday. That's what I believe. This one. So yeah, it's 13 minutes 51 seconds overtime. So many shots that could have ended the game. So shooting's not been the best. We've seen lots of misses from Fairy Peak. Jazer missed an open net. Violent Panda missed an open net. Pashy missed a couple of he didn't convert on a couple of great infield passes that Vitality had. There were also a couple of missed counter-attack opportunities on Team Dignitas' side. So both teams have had their fair share of chances and completely squandered them. That's kind of what's needed if you're going to have an overtime this long.
I bet, if Johnny is feeling risky in the dark hours of night, he does not go to adult love. No, oh no, Johnny over here watches Pingu and Happy Feet. You naughty man. Was that why you were dressed up as a penguin at prom? You dirty little birdie, huh?
I do actually know of one Rocket League community member who did, in fact, dress up as a penguin. I've got photographic evidence, which I will not be leaking. But that's just for you guys to find out for yourselves. Which Rocket League player or personality has previously in their life dressed up as a penguin? That's just, I'll leave it with you. I wish I had a penguin suit, honestly. That'd be great. Next Halloween, maybe. It would have to have like the legs sewed together really badly, so you need to waddle around like a penguin. Wasn't it a lot or Turbo? Wait, did a lot or Turbo do it as well? Marky? Did Marky? Maybe there's more than one. Maybe there's several Rocket League people who have been dressed up as penguins. Zero boost dribbles by Fairy Peak. It's a great save though by Panda. The follow-up was less ideal, but he did well to get that touch. The actual touches, the saves that Dignitas are getting, and also Fairy Peak's had a few of these this series, or the series, it's been so long I feel like it's a series, this game. They're really, really good saves because they're not allowing follow-up shots to happen before the rest of the team is ready to move in and reposition. That's an unbelievable pass by Fairy Peak. Looks like Scrub Killer wasn't even ready for it. Watch this again. Fairy Peak pops this downfield, and this is him landing, boosts down to the ground so he can win the race to that ball. The Scrub Killer had a little bit more boost. Maybe he could have gone for a double touch there. Pashy, maybe we can let him off the hook for that one because there was a goalkeeper diving at him, and the fact that he shot that wide may have been necessary to put it past the goalkeeper that was coming in. But we can't really call that an open net miss or a missed opportunity from that angle. Really good save again by Panda, and the double save. The shot here should definitely be going low. We've been saying all day here, and obviously we don't see Pashy's POV on this one. We've been saying all day that the shooting has been off for Vitality, and it's off there again. If there's a player trying to dive bomb save like Panda is there, just hit it as low as possible, drill it low. Like I said, we're not 100% sure what Pashy could see there, but I reckon a low shot was definitely the right option. Try and catch everybody. Maybe like if Jazer was coming in for a save from the other angle, he might pre-jump, and Panda's going to really struggle to get down. I'm not saying you can't do it, but to get down to the ground and make a save there is not easy. Really, really not easy. Because when you're coming down to the ground, the problem is that suddenly you can no longer dodge forward to the left or right, or you can't really dodge across the goal because you're nose of your car is pointing downwards. So you're kind of just stuck dive bombing it. You have to be very precise. Oh, is that a throwaway by Fairy? No, he's kind of able to catch up to it. So yeah, Fairy Peak there trying to start a bounce dribble off the wall. That's a really good ball chase by Jazer. If you notice what Jazer does here, he realizes that if he rotates, then K-Dop's going to be in a 1v1 with Fairy, so let's just turn around, stick a foot in, because one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to get the ball for myself, or Fairy's going to have to flick it over the top of me, and then K-Dop's got it. So I really like that challenge. The reads that both these teams have been making on their own backboard have been really, really good this game. I don't think I've seen many misses on like players jumping up preemptively before the ball hits their own backboard to get a pop clear. You know, technically Scrub did it there, but he might have been able to reach the ball before it hit the backboard, so it doesn't really fit in with what I was pointing out before. Alright, 17 minute 47. The game is getting very close to its end. I think this is already the longest overtime ever. You know, both teams have had their strengths and weaknesses. The Vitality have missed a lot of shots. Dignitas have failed to convert on several opportunities as well. Although I think Vitality certainly had the better of the two teams' chances. So there it is. I remember seeing the ending here. That's a great passing play to finish things off. Full team passing play, and it starts off with the young Scrub killer. So really nice team play by him. Like I said earlier, I don't think that he's going to struggle getting involved in offense as much as he does in defense for Reign of Vitality. And he's a very good defensive player. He is a very good defensive player. He just, I think when they're losing, might start to panic a little bit. That's the thing. That's the reason I bring this up is not to point fingers at the guy. It's just to highlight that that's probably the number one thing he has to work on, is bringing his teammates into the game in defense, not always going for the boomer to the century clear. His passing and defense is very, very good. Yeah, but that actually says Violent Neuer at the end here because Panda has 11 saves. Jazer also has 8 saves. But yeah, both of them really nice defense. K-Dop, you know, didn't have as big a game as we've come to expect from him, but it is still technically off season. It's going to be interesting to see him in the future. Yeah, lots of missed chances for Vitality. They really want to be striking better than that. They didn't exploit the wide open backboard as much as they could have. I don't expect to see Dignitas defending like this when Turbo's back in the lineup. Jazer, and as you can see, Panda this game, and actually K-Dop as well, not so much this game, but K-Dop does like to do this. He does like to sit in the net as opposed to on the backboard. So will Turbo be able to do that? You know, when Turbo's back in the lineup, I don't think that Panda's going to play quite this passively as well. I think he was playing a little bit more passive in this matchup because he didn't have Turbo in his team. Again, not saying this to criticize Jazer. I think he's very good and doesn't get rated as highly as he should. But there is the longest overtime ever in competitive Rocket League. And a little bit of insight into Fairy Peak, Scrub, Pashi, and the new Reign of Vitality lineup, as well as the Dignitas lineup with Jazer as a substitute.